Oh, I might regret this, but Taylor Swift should not be Dazzler in the MCU. Please let me explain. First of all, Swifties, before you come for me, this is my dog, and you wouldn't want him to grow up without a father, now would you? And two, I promise this is not a dig on Taylor Swift. This is not a dig on her acting abilities or anything about her as a person. This has everything to do with studio executives and the fact that they have absolutely no chill. They are bereft of chill. Okay, so news has broken recently that Taylor Swift has apparently met with MCU executives for a role in the MCU, and for a very long time there has been speculation and fan casting of Taylor Swift as a mutant called Dazzler. If you do not know, Dazzler has a weird kind of history. She's a mutant pop star in the Marvel Universe with the ability to turn sound into light. She was actually conceived as a joint venture between Marvel Comics and a record company. Like, originally, she was supposed to look like Grace Jones, but now she looks like this. Anyways, Dazzler's powers are kind of cool. She takes sound, she turns it into light, and sometimes that means she makes holograms and does little light shows, and other times it means she goes supernova in space. Dazzler's also struggled to find a place in the comics. There have been entire decades where she just simply doesn't appear in any book. She doesn't really have a strong canonical background. She's had a bit of a resurgence in the last 10, maybe 15 years or so whenever she started getting put into various teams. And in those environments, she does really well. In fact, there's a recent run where Dazzler and a couple of mutants named Jubilee, Boom Boom, and then Laura Kinney's Wolverine all team up. And it's actually a really fun book, and I think that would make a cool adaptation. But what does this have to do with Taylor Swift being Dazzler, and why would that be a very bad idea? Two reasons. Both of them have to do with studio executives. None of them have to do with Taylor herself. The first is that Dazzler has worked best when she's either a smaller part of a much larger team or as an interesting cameo. Both of which means that if she is treated in the films like she is in the books, she wouldn't be a very big part of any of the movies. But studio executives really like whenever their box office has the word billion in it, and they would probably market the living crap out of Taylor's involvement in any future movie because they want her massive fan base to buy tickets, which could lead to the backlash of people showing up and complaining about stunt casting, or backlash from her fans showing up to the Taylor Swift Marvel movie only to complain later that they spent $50 on tickets and popcorn just to see her for 3 minutes on screen. Alternatively, what studio executives could do is they could realize that she's such a big box office draw and give us another round of the Wolverine problem. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in the original X-Men movie proved so popular with audiences that studio executives eventually insisted on making future movies about Wolverine, centering Wolverine in stories that he really shouldn't have been a part of. And we all saw what happened to the quality of the X-Men movies as they continued to make everything about Wolverine. The X-Men 97 show showed us anything, it's that giving each of these characters their own unique spotlight is the exact best way to operate the X-Men. Some people out there are complaining that Taylor might not have the acting chops, but I'm not one of those people. I don't think it would be much of a stretch for her to play a super-powered pop star. What basis would Taylor Swift, of all people, have to play a world-famous pop star? My thing has absolutely nothing to do with her ability, or anything else. It has everything to do with the fact that I very much doubt studio executives would have the chill to let her be the cameo that she should be, and that's it. If you would like my opinion, if we are going to cast Dazzler and if she's going to be a part of an ongoing story, I do think that Taylor Swift's tour mate Sabrina Carpenter would be a much better choice. Thank you, goodbye.